Hello and welcome to the Joinery Business Podcast. Just recently, Bruce has been to the Master Joiners Conference over in New Zealand, and today's episode is all about Bruce going over the timeline of events at the conference, what worked and what he was really excited about, and showing some appreciation for the conference itself, as it was a really big deal, and we at the Joinery Coach really appreciate being invited and how well looked after we were at the event. If you have any questions about today's episode or want to learn more about the Master Joiners Conference, be sure to jump on over to the Joinery Business Hub on Facebook. Now, without further ado, let's jump into today's episode.
Hey, welcome to the Joinery Business Podcast. My name is Bruce, and I thought what I would do today is I would do a little bit of a review of the trip that both Nigel and I had a little over a week ago down to Christchurch in New Zealand to attend the Master Joiners Federation conference. So we got invited to the conference in New Zealand to be not only a keynote speaker, but we also were invited to do a demonstration with their members on efficiency gains. So it was a lot of fun. Nigel and I got up really early, I think it was Monday morning. And any of you know me, you know I'm not a morning person, so it was a big thing to get up super early. Got to the airport, had some lunch, had some food anyway. No issue with the plane ride. Got on the plane, got over to New Zealand without any issues. Fortunately, Qantas got us there okay. Yeah, landed in Christchurch. What a beautiful city that is. I'd never been to Christchurch before. Really just a fantastic city. The Master Joiners really looked after us, put us up in a great hotel. The hotel was called the Give Hotel, and I think it's the first sustainable hotel. So they're very focused on environment. So it very much is in line with our beliefs as well. Had a great night's sleep the first night we got there. And yeah, the conference for the Master Joiners, if any of you know the Master Joiners in New Zealand, fairly large group of people that make furniture, windows and doors type joinery, cabinets, furniture, all those sorts of things that we love doing. And had a really good first day where there was a bit of a question and answer and got to know the members a little bit. And the first opening day of the conference, I was a keynote speaker, and it was a lot of fun because we had a really good conversation on the topic that we've been on about a fair bit this year, which is called the power of we. So my focus was really on helping this room, which is not uncommon to any cabinet maker or joiner business that we're talking to. Talk about how do we bring the team together? How do you leverage the results in your business so that your team is really coming together and doing that? And it's such a powerful and such an important message because too many business owners who are tradesmen try and do it all on their own. And so it was good to see the engagement of the members throughout this conference. There were so many amazing things that were going on. We were actually at a Trot's racetrack and got to see some of the goings on there. But they had all kinds of suppliers at the event, which was really good to see. I caught up with some people that I knew from online conversations. And then later on the first day of the conference, Nigel ran our brand new simulation, which is building cabinets out of Legos and realistic looking cabinets. And we simulated 3 different production environments. One is sort of an old school way of doing things. One is a more modern way of doing things. And the third simulation showed how you could be doing things in the most current, most efficient way of production. And in this simulation, we demonstrated that just by changing a few little things up with some really good instruction, you could get a 30% production efficiency gain. And we had people do in the simulation that were not on the factory floor. So the gain that we made would probably be even higher if we had people from the factory floor doing the simulation.
Everybody, my name is Nigel Newman, as Bruce introduced me. All right, so let's get into what we're going to do today. A few slides around what flow is, just for those in the room that haven't heard that concept before. And then we're going to ask for some volunteers. I might leave that to Nathan to grab a couple of people out of the audience. We're going to need 12 people. So if that's something you want to partake in, which is the simulation, just let me know. So the one we're going to focus on in simulation today is material flow. Because it's the one that actually costs you the most money, because every time the material's not moving, your lead time is actually stretching. Let's go again. All right, so if a job's sitting in the shop for too long, obviously affects the overall time it takes to get it out. If we are, as again, not ready to start a job. We only have parts of the board in and we start cutting it. But then the hardware's not here on time, and that job will sit in assembly or sit on a flat stack trolley, waiting for the hardware to come in. So what we want is everything to be sequenced. It's really important that we understand once we won the job, what's the sequence of manufacturing, how we're going to build it, and when that will drive when we need things. So as we went into the Industrial Revolution, we started to go to mass production. Right? So it's much more around, just make as many things as fast as you can. And if there's piles of work, don't worry about it. The next guy will see that and he'll get busy. So it's very much what we call a push system to produce things as quickly as we can and not worrying about really the flow. Without further ado, we'll get into the simulation. That's what we're here for today. And remember, this is going to be a bit of fun, right? It's not going to be an exact match for probably what you do, but it's going to give you some concepts. So 6 team members. What we need is 3 people who want to be building cabinets out of this team. And hopefully everyone's so 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3. I need 1 production manager. You got the easiest role, don't worry.
Goes up right away.
All right, and then I'm going to pick the guy with the runners on to be the material, because you're going to be moving around with material movers. So you're going to position the guys at different tables, and you're going to be moving the finished product over to finished goods area for us. All right. Right. So who wants to do in their roles? All right. So the 3 guys who are going to be building Lego, there are tables that have bags of Lego with instructions. Find a table, sit 1 person on each table. You'll notice in the bags you have one that has a black plate in it, black Lego plate, and one has a grey Lego plate. The grey Lego plate is going to be the twin cabinet that's shown in your drawing, and the black bag is going to be the single cabinet. Flat top bags are going to be the single cabinets. Within the bag, you can build 3 black cabinets. There's all the parts for 3 cabinets and drawers. And in the grey bag is enough of 1 of the twin cabinets with 2 drawers. But what we're trying to simulate here is a sorting process, right? But just go as quickly as you can. There's no real order. I would ask you that you build the grey cabinet first, because we're going to time when the first grey cabinet is completed. Okay, material handlers. All right, Lucky's going already. Going well. So material handlers, your job is once the guys have completed a cabinet, whether it's a grey one or a black one, twin or single, they'll signal you, or you can see on the bench, just take it to the finished goods table. Do we have Bruce, the finished goods area? We can use the table over there, right? Clear table over here. So just drop the cabinets over there, just line them up, and Bruce will probably do some QC checking for us. The part of flow is breaking things down into smaller chunks, so it's easier to do the work. You can build things as a team. Right now we ask 1 person to build the whole job. So this was intended to fail, right? Because believe it or not, we have had clients who have actually set it up where they have 1 guy, they have 4 guys in the business, and everyone builds their own kitchen. The whole thing takes them a week, and guess what? You end up with 4 kitchens coming out to the footprint almost at the same time, and there's cabinets sitting everywhere in that shop. Probably 80% of that shop is full of product that shouldn't be there. It should either be shipped or shouldn't have been started. So there's a number of problems when you build this way. I'm not saying whether you do or not. I'm not asking for that share. It's just about this is the journey we take people on, right? So from, hey, give the highly skilled jobs to the guy, he takes it along, we lose him for 4 days because he's working on this pretty complex curve fit. Yes, when we don't have really clear instructions, there was actually a couple of errors on those instructions intentionally, like the tabletops that were flipped around on the grey cabinet. One's one way, one's the other. When we create standard work, it's very simple. People with Steve, they've got to create this perfect way. Standard work is just the best way you know today, captured in the document. Where you really see the benefit is in the next delivery time frame. So I'll talk more about Team 2 in this example. So Team 2 went from a time of around 3 minutes to build the first batch or the first room lot. In the last round, we implemented standard work. So we broke the work down into smaller stages, still the same number of people, still the same work, but smaller stages and very, very clear and step-by-step instruction. So they're basically working on a 3 or 4 block combination and in a repetitive manner. So that time went from 3 minutes 02 to get the first 3 black cabinets, 1 grey, down to 1 minute 56, is that correct?
50.
1 minute 50. So that's about a 35-40% reduction in time.
So that was a tremendous amount of fun because, you get people doing the things that we talk about rather than just talking about them. We do find if we just talk about things, then people will kind of go, I think that might work, but I'm still not sure. if you're actually doing it with your hands, it's pretty hard to argue with the results that you just achieved. So all in all, the conference was amazing. The last night that I was there, I went to the awards night, and the awards night was really stunning in a beautiful location. And I really liked the approach that the Master Joiners have, the way they give out the awards. It was really nice to see the way that it was done. And one of the awards that stood out to me was a Business Culture Award. It's quite unusual to see an organization like this giving an award out for culture recognition in a business. Really, really warmed my heart, because that's very much where we come from, is how do you engage your team and how do you make sure that they're really connected. So I want to just basically congratulate the Master Joiners in New Zealand for doing such a great job and having such an amazing organization, and thank them for inviting me as well. And if you're in New Zealand and you're looking at connecting your joinery business up to the community and the industry, certainly don't hesitate to contact Master Joiners. From our perspective, it was another one of those situations where when we mix with people in this industry, the same conversations continue to float to the surface. A lot of business owners are doing okay. Most people won't really sort of admit that they're struggling necessarily. Most people say, yeah, we're doing okay. And it was a room full of very open conversations. A lot of people did say that we were struggling. Some people said we're doing really well right now, but the conversations always kind of centered around how many hours a business owner might be working. So even those that said we're doing really, really well, we're still people that would talk about how they never really had much time off. So we still come back to, how do we release you of the burden of the business so that the business itself can give you something back? And I always find it fascinating whenever we get in a room full of industry people like we did here, the conversations tend to end up in the same place, particularly if we're talking to business owners, where we're still trying to find a way to get the weight of the business off our shoulders, even if the business appears to be doing really, really well. So all in all, it was a really fantastic event. We really enjoyed the whole experience. Love to do it again. There's so much more that we can do. In another round, let's say, we do the simulation again. So in summary, thanks to the Master Joiners Federation in New Zealand for inviting us. We had a wonderful time. You looked after us really well. We really appreciate the whole experience. Congratulations for having such an amazing organization and a great membership. And yeah, look forward to doing it again sometime in the future. And let's stay in touch. For those of you listening to this podcast, if you're interested in learning anything about efficiency gains, as I've touched on efficiency gains a little bit here today, reach out to us. We're happy to have a conversation and maybe do a demonstration in your factory. Bruce from the Joinery Business Podcast and the Joinery Coach, signing off. Have an awesome day. Peace out.